Welcome to another edition of the Soul 21 Street Radio Show, live from Soul 21, the retail store in Northwest Mall, Houston, Texas. I'm your host, as usual, T.G. Ryans, and I'm joined live in studio with my other wonderful co-hosts. You hear them every week, Malik Jackson and Arthur Jenkins.
Malik Jackson, CEO of Malik Fragrances. Arthur Jenkins, what's going on, everybody?
You know, a lot of times you hear people say, man, I don't know what I'm born into the world for. I'm confused. It's some things that I feel like I got on my mind that I want to express, or some things I got in my heart that I want to express, and I want to bring it to the world. But I really don't know if I got it like that. I mean, I wake up every morning and, I feel like, there's something for me to do, but I'm really not sure. So, I just don't know. I feel like it's a destiny I want to fulfill. I feel like it's my life has a bigger meaning as it evolves every year. And I just wish I knew what I should do in this world. I want to make a mark in this world. This is something that a lot of people battle with on a day-to-day basis. They've been dealing with this since they were kids. They've been dealing with this since they were adolescents and teenagers. And now young adults and some older adults have dealt with this. Older adults more so because they feel like they're coming to the end of the rope, and they feel like they just hadn't accomplished this one thing that they're supposed to accomplish in this world. And I want to let everybody know right now that you don't just have a life, but you have a life with a purpose. You do have a purpose to be into this world right now. You have a purpose in this life. You could have been a newborn baby back in the day, and that newborn baby could have been born in a matter of moments, came out of the mother's womb and made everybody smile with that baby smile, and then died moments later, and that baby's purpose was fulfilled because that baby's purpose may have been to just bring joy to people for a moment, to just bring hope to some people that couldn't have kids for a while. Maybe they gave them hope and made them realize that the impossible can be possible when you have focus together. You have some people like Rosa Parks and Harriet Tubman and people like that fulfilled their destinies before they died and before they left this world. Rosa Parks got on a bus one day, didn't even know she was going to walk right into destiny, and she walked right into it, and her purpose was fulfilled in this life, because from there on she went on to become an activist and be the forerunner for a movement. Harriet Tubman bought out some slaves and went back and got some more slaves and came back through. So what I want everybody to know right now, from Houston, Texas, all the way to New York City, that listen to us every week, that not only do you have a life, but you have a life with a purpose. Malik Jackson.
Yes, sir.
Please inform these people nationwide right now how they not only have a life, but they have a life with a purpose.
I believe everybody has a purpose in their life. And the first purpose that I really believe that you have to acknowledge the Creator when you're here. And that's the first purpose. And then you find your talents. I mean, your purpose is to live out your best ability to understand who you are and know what you are and know what you're here for. And a purpose is doing the things that you want to do and understanding who you are and understanding what you're here for and understanding the purpose that you was put here for to do. And living that purpose is and understanding that purpose is something that's magnificent. I'll pass it over here to Arthur Jenkins right quick.
Wow. Purpose. I would have to agree with you. You're put here on to worship and praise the universal God and to make disciples unto Him. I do believe that wholeheartedly. But in the natural realm, what is your purpose? Well, I can't speak for everybody, but as Mr. Ryan said earlier, to bring a smile to somebody's face, to teach knowledge, to have a shoulder, to have an ear. Some people are creators, some people are designers, some people are drivers, some people are, there's a vast and various things that you can be here to do. And you can have multiple things that you are, talented in and that you can do. But first and foremost is to understand who you are, what you are, why you are, and most importantly, whose you are. And from there, you can start walking in your purpose.
Right.
Yeah, it's important for all of you to understand that not only do you just have life, but you have life with a meaning and a purpose and a destiny to fulfill. That's the problem. A lot of people feel like that they're just living for no reason and they're walking around in circles. So to fill that void, they usually fill that void with drugs, with large amounts of alcohol, and for some people it's just wild partying. For some people it's promiscuity, tremendous amounts of sex, ranging from 4 or 5 times a day to just all week long, many partners, because they need that thrill. They need that thrill, and they need that feeling fulfilled, that empty void that they walk around with on a day-to-day basis, because it's a terrible void in someone's life whenever they feel like they just get up and they have no purpose. They go to sleep and they have no purpose. And it's real funny, ladies and gentlemen, how whenever you can show a young man, a young woman, or even an older man or older woman that they have something bigger in life to fulfill while they're here on this earth, that they have something to fulfill, and they find out that they're good at it, and it lines up with their so-called destiny. Everybody was born into this world with something to do. You weren't born into this world to just exist. That's the problem with a lot of people right now, is that they're just existing. They get up to exist. I'm going to go a step further. For an example, right now, there are a lot of NBA wives. If you're listening right now, shout out to all the NBA wives, because you, just like NFL wives, just like the spouses of businessmen that don't have to work and things of that nature, shout out to you, because you have a tremendous job, because you have to hold up a great man, and you have to hold up a great man of power. But I'm gonna open up the gates for you. I'm gonna take the chains off your bodies right now and bring something to your understanding right now that you've probably been struggling with and dealing with. A lot of you have been struggling with just spending that man's money, or getting fame and celebrity just by being associated with that great, tremendous man of power. And then you still wake up and you go to sleep every day unfulfilled. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you're not stepping into your purpose and your destiny in life. See, a lot of people think early on that, well, if I can just get with this person and I can get their money and I can spend their money and I can walk through the door through their celebrity and through their power. But what about yours? Because sooner or later, you're going to want to know, what am I here for? That's why a lot of NBA wives, NBA girlfriends, fiancés, NFL, the same thing. That's why a lot of those ladies are unfulfilled right now. And somebody will say right now, well, you have a tremendous amount of money and power and prestige. Why are you so unhappy? They're unhappy because they're not fulfilling their purpose. They're not fulfilling their purpose and their destiny in life. And if you're born into this world, you want to know why. And once you find out why, you can go on about your business to bring that destiny into fruition. But living off of someone else's power, someone else's prestige can only go so far. Sooner or later, you're going to have to find out what your purpose is and fulfill that purpose in life.
Oh, yeah. You're going to have to find out what your purpose is, and that's digging deep into your soul and understanding. Once you dig deep into who you are, you will find out what you can do and what you need to do and what you're here for. So finding that true purpose of yourself is just like finding a diamond in the coal, like they would say. That's something that you have to dig deep into and find out what you're really here for and what you really need to do, and find out what you need to do and understand the real purpose of life, and knowing how to, go about with that purpose, and never giving up on that purpose, and knowing that's you and you only.
Wow. Money. A lot of people think that they're born to get money, then to die. And I feel sorry for you if that's your thought. Money is great to have. We need it. We want it. It's a necessity to live, no doubt about that. But there are a lot of people with a lot of money that are very unhappy. That's why they get so much joy in bringing misery to other people. You could get up and say you have a job, and let's say you make $40,000 a year, but this is the job you really enjoy doing. Excuse me. Odds are you're going to be a lot happier than a person that has $300,000 a year doing something because they're stressed out, they hate it, they hate going, they only go because of the money. Now, some of you probably listen to my voice saying, man, I just have to deal with it. Well, it's easier said than done. So, what makes you happy, man? What fulfills you? What drives you, man? What do you get real joy out of doing? not just carnal pleasure, but real joy that makes you smile, that makes you feel good. Because here go the thing. If you're running here just living, just out here with no purpose and just out here doing things, you're not living, you're existing. And that's you are existing, and that's no way to be.
Yeah, they just exist. You don't have to just exist. You can understand that you have a reason for your existence. And until you figure out what that reason is and that purpose, you're going to continue to walk around in circles. One of the things that you can start doing to figure out your purpose is find some moments of solitude. You don't have to go to each and every party that's going on. You don't have to hang out with everybody and the whole entourage every single day. Every successful person or just anyone who's striving for greatness in their lives need to get to a point of solitude every once in a while. I'm not saying cut everybody out of your life, but get to a certain point of solitude every once in a while so you can meditate and so you can think and so you can figure out what it is that you need to accomplish in life. Because I'm going to tell you something, as I've said on other shows before, I'm going to say it again. It's a tragedy, an absolute tragedy, to get to be in your old age. Let's say that you're 30 years old now, you get to be 99 years old, 100 years old, and then you get on your deathbed, and as you get ready to cross over into another life form or whatever happens in the afterlife, you have to come to the realization that you did absolutely nothing with your life. I mean, you did absolutely nothing. 90-something years of your life and you did nothing. But all you did was blame each and everybody and said that they held you back from doing something. Guess what? Guess what, ladies and gentlemen, worldwide? A lot of those people are going to be dead and gone. Or they're going to be in an old folks home. Or they just won't even remember who you are. And there you are at 99 and 100 years old. If you're blessed to live that long, you're telling your caretakers or family members that's standing over your body as you get ready to die and leave this world, you're sitting there telling them how everybody stopped you from fulfilling your destiny a whole entire life, and you did nothing, didn't even experiment with anything. Could have started a business, never started. Could have been a great singer, never even tried to sing, just kept making excuses, waiting for a better time. But guess what? If you go out there and you find out what your purpose is and you at least try to fulfill your purpose, you can die an honorable person. Whether you die with $40,000, whether you die with millions of dollars, whether you die with billions of dollars, at least you can die honorably because you went out there and you tried to fulfill your purpose, and you may have even fulfilled your purpose. But do not, this is serious, everybody, get to your deathbed, cross over after your death, and realize that you did nothing with your life. You didn't experiment. You didn't try to be successful. You didn't go for anything. All you did was make excuses about everybody getting in your way, and you didn't attempt to do anything. Don't let that be you like it's became for so many others.
Hey, you said a mouthful right there, because you have a lot of people that's like that. They always blaming others for their problems, and they never really fulfill their destiny and their purpose on this life, on this earth. So, the graveyard, I always say the jail and graveyard are full of that. You know what I'm saying? People, what they coulda, shoulda, woulda. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So the thing about it, you just have to do it. I was sitting and talking to a guy today, and he was telling me that he worked for this company for 36 years and he retired. And I was like, wow, hey. And he said, man, they gave me a good service pack. They gave me $100,000. I saved this, I did that. And, I'm wonderfully, my life is good. And I asked him, I said, after 36 years, did you ever wanted to actually do something for yourself, or do something that what you had in your mind that you can, accumulate or bring up something as a business or a venture or something that you wanted to actually put out? And he looked at me and he told me, he said, well, if I did try, we don't too much support each other and all that. He was using that excuses again. And I say, well, you never tried. If you would try, you probably would see. But for most people, we're going to blame that, because then I ran into another guy, a good brother, a good friend of mine. And he said that, he had a lucrative business, but now he's working for the people. And I said to myself, I said, wow, man, what happened? He said, well, that's how it go. I said, no, that's not how it go. If you was just operate in your mind how you want your business to go. Don't worry about what nobody else say. Don't worry about what they're doing. Just focus on what you need to be doing, and you will never fall back. But you lost your purpose. You lost your purpose because of how you're listening to other people and what you're seeing them doing, what they're telling you, what you need to be doing. And I told him, I say, the only thing you need to do is follow your first mind, and what you need to do is go out and just make it happen. And you contact people and live your purpose of what you was trying to accumulate and accommodate of what you're trying to live for. Because this is what people don't understand. When you start listening to other people, you start actually having that type of energy among them other people, and you fall short. You forget all about even the ideas and the goals and the vision that you set for yourself and your purpose of life, because you're trying to live their purpose. It's people to get you off your purpose too. That's what they're here for. You got purpose people who are here for their purpose to get you off, to make mischief in people's lives. So you have to understand what you're here for and what you need to do, and you need to go ahead and do it and make it happen, and don't listen to anybody tell you about what you need to be doing.
I can dig that. Some years back, I was talking to a lady, and she worked for a gigantic oil company. I won't name the company. And then she quit, took a job making like $35,000 a year less. And I'm like, why would you quit a job and take that much less a year? And she said, it does me no good to make the money and kill myself doing it. I hate going. There are people that are 20 years younger than me that look 20 years older than me. Blood pressure medication, losing their families, not seeing their children. You're giving up so much to get so little in return. What we thinking is a lot is very little compared to what you're giving up for it. So I had to let that sink with me for a second and really, really think about it. And I was like, wow, I hear that. Then I thought about myself. I tried to do this, walked away from it. I tried to do that. Everything I did, I'm like, I can make money doing this. I can do this. But I never saw it through because my heart was never in none of it. My heart was nowhere near it. I just looked at what I could gain from it. But I never saw that I don't like doing this. I don't want to do this. When I get up in the morning, I got to go, whether it's my own business, whether it's a job, whatever it is, I want to be looking forward to going to do it. Is all that I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I understand you're going to have a bad day. That happens. You know what I'm saying? And money don't buy you freedom. Money don't buy you rest. We just sit there and use what you said, Mr. Ryan, just sitting back, wondering. And a lot of times we keep going through all this time, trying this, trying that, trying this, and none of it works. The next thing you know, 10 years to pass by. And let me tell you something from personal experience. One of the worst things in this life is to look back and realize I've wasted my time doing nothing. That is a hurtful, painful experience. And I'm telling you personally, it don't feel good. You'd rather try something and have it fail. At least if it fails, you can always try to revamp it and come back with it. But to sit back and see woulda, coulda, shoulda is heartbreaking. And if you don't put something together, you'll feel that heartbreak.
Yeah, well said. Ladies and gentlemen, figure out your purpose today. Live your life today and fulfill your destiny. Stop thinking that you're just in this world and you have no purpose and you're just wasting time until you die. No, you have a life with a purpose. Just think about it. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Soul 21 Street Radio Show. Welcome back to the Soul 21 Street Radio Show. We are having a serious topic tonight, and that topic is your life has a purpose if you're just now tuning in. You're born into this world with a DNA makeup that no one else has like you. There's not another individual in this world like you. They can want to be like you. They can want to act like you. They can want to mimic. That means to copy your style. But they can't be like you all the way because there's nothing like the originator. There's nothing like the original person. They can come close, but they're going to still fall short because they're unlike you. Now, hearing me say that right now, can you imagine that there's millions of you around the globe that may be listening right now that sit there and say that you have no purpose and you have no understanding of what your existence in this world may be. And there are millions of people, billions of people worldwide that would like to be like you, that observe you, that see your gifts and your talents that you're not utilizing for greatness in this life, that you're not utilizing to be successful in this life with. You know, and you're sitting back and you're saying basically you're just waiting for your life to end, and hopefully you'll end it with a lot of money or maybe some small amount of success. No, you have a greater purpose in life than that. You know, there's no other individual like you in this world. Nobody else like you. They can try to duplicate you, but they can't duplicate you. If you ever line up with your purpose in life, you can begin to fulfill your destiny realistically. And you know what's funny? A lot of people, once they find out that they have a purpose, I mean, it's hard to get them to sit down. You know, once you can ever get them to just tap into their purpose and they find out that their life has a real meaning, they don't want to stop. You know, and the hard part is getting these people to figure out that they don't just have a life, but they have a life with a purpose. What do you think about that, Malik Jackson? What are some ways that a lot of these people can utilize these gifts and talents that they come into this world with to achieve a greater life?
Okay, I think when they find out what they're here for, and when they dig deep down into themselves and understand that this is what I like to do, this is what I love to do, and this is what I'm going to make my purpose because I know this is me. You take singers, you take actors. Oh, you're going to take, say, a boxer, you know, Floyd Mayweather, you know. He found his real purpose of boxing. I mean, he loved it, he ate it, he sleep it, he think it. So that was his purpose. You know, people think it was the money, but it wasn't. It's his purpose. It's the boxing, the love for it, the love for the sport. So you take Michael Jackson, you know what I'm saying, who was a great entertainer, one of the best entertainer. And his purpose was to entertain people because it's what he loved to do. You know, the stage was that was his domain. So when you're saying, you know, to utilize your gifts and talents, you have to find out what you are here for. Okay, you take my boy here who actually got the mic in front of singing. You know, he found his purpose. I mean, you know, when we first met, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he stuck with it. I mean, the DVDs and videos and you know, bringing things to life. He found this, you know, and he kept you know, just stuck with it. My boy, Mr. Ryan's here, you know what I'm saying? When we first met, you know, he know what his purpose was, you know, to actually help people and to serve people. And I found my purpose, you know, serving people. That's what we are here for. And when you find that purpose of what you're serving them for, you know, that becomes when you utilize that and find out what to give them. This is the exciting part. And like you just said, that's why they can't sit down. You can't sit down when you find your true purpose. You want to share with everybody. It's just like a person who got that six-pack for the first time. You know, he want to share with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I'm drinking, you know, come on, friends, you know. But that's how it is. You know, when you find that true purpose within yourself, you want to share with everybody. You want to let everybody know, you know, this is what I'm here to do. You know, when you make your mind up to say, this is what I'm here for, hey, man, it ain't no stopping.
Yeah, it's no stopping it. Once you really line up, get to yourself and figure out what's going on with your life, figure out the gifts and talents that you have, because it's going to be lined up with that purpose. And that's going to help you to fulfill your destiny. Okay. You know, figure out what your gifts, what your true talents are. You'll figure out that those gifts and those talents are going to also be able to be implemented into something that you love to do, that you're going to have a passion for. When you mix all those ingredients together, then you will fulfill your destiny. Your destiny is the end all be all, the overall fulfillment of your purpose of being here in this world, your meaning for existence, your reason that you were put here into this world. It is not just to be here, just to get up every morning and get drunk or get high or just pass out or whatever until it's time to wake up again the next day. No, everybody, every single human being living, walking around this planet we call Earth has a reason and a purpose for being here. And it's not just to exist.
Right. Right.
I concur with that. You know, I would have to say what you said and reiterate it is knowing you have a purpose and finding it. And to piggyback off of what you're saying here, Mr. Jackson, you know, I was not blessed with the gift of song, so I don't try to sing. You know what I'm saying? I can't throw a ball, you know, like Peyton Manning, and I can't shoot like Steph Curry, but you know what I can do? I can negotiate. So I might not be a ball player. I may be a sports agent. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty good with my hands. I might be a mechanic. You know, we know them people in the neighborhood where they say, take the car out and Miss So-and-so, let them check that car out. You know, some people, believe it or not, get joy out of cutting yards. They look at it as like an art form. They get out there and they sculpt those yards, unlike it, because they take pride and they love doing it. You know what I'm saying? You have people like this here. Some people are designers. Some people can draw. Some people can paint. You know, some people can coordinate stuff that you never see with your head. They can put outfits together you never saw coming. You know what I'm saying? They have an eye for this type of stuff. Some people are photographers. You know what I'm saying? Some people are welders, man. People have different types of talent. And when your talent, my talent, this person's talent mesh together, what a masterpiece we can create. If we would come together and do so. You know, so first off, recognize, accept that you are talented. You know what I'm saying? As Mr. Jackson said earlier off camera, don't be scared of your talents. Don't be scared of being, you know, who you can be. You know what I mean? Come on. Bring it to the table. Because guess what? When you shortchange yourself, you shortchange everybody else. You know, so who am I? Am I good with my hands? Like, I'm just good with my hands. You can tell me something all day, but until I put my hands on the field my way through it, you know, I got to put my hands on the field. That's something that works for me. You know, so recognize what it is that you're good at and bring it to the table, man, and let's create a masterpiece here. You know, it might be something you're doing your own. It might be a group project. We just don't know, but you have to get going to figure this thing out.
Yeah. Get going, get started, get pen, paper out, figure out what your true gifts, what your true talents are, figure out what your calling is, because chances are you know what your calling is. You've just been ignoring the calling. But now it's the time, you know. Now's the time to utilize those gifts and talents. Figure out what you're really, really, really talented at, not what you want to be. And, you know, people lie to you and they tell you that you can sing when you really can't sing or whatever. Something that you really realistically can do and that you love to do at the same time. But whatever it is, always remember that in the forefront of that you do have a purpose. You just have to figure out what it is. Don't tell anyone else that you don't have a purpose, that you feel like you're just here for nothing, that you're just wasting your time for nothing. Because there are a lot of people that are in the grave because of that. There are a lot of people that committed suicide because of that. Only if they could have been convinced that they have a life with a purpose, they could have saved themselves. You have a life with a purpose. Utilize your gifts and your talents today to make something great happen in your life before it ends. You're listening to the Soul 21 Street Radio Show. Don't go anywhere. We still have some great points that we want to make in this show. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Soul 21 Street Radio Show. T.G. Ryans, Malik Jackson, Arthur Jenkins discussing how your life has a true purpose, not just a mere existence. Your existence has a purpose. Okay, now there's a lot of people worldwide, maybe even you that's listening to us right now. You've given up on trying to figure out what that purpose is in life. You said it's just too exhausting. You don't like anything, or you like something for 4 or 5 months and you just don't like it. Or for some people, it's just not glamorous enough. It pays well. It gives them a lot of attention, but it's just not glamorous enough. They're looking at the reality TV stars. They're looking at the celebrities on television. And if they're not living a certain person's life exactly verbatim, then they're unfulfilled, and they still go back into depression, and they still go back into believing that they're just here to exist until the day that they die. And I want to let everybody know right now that that's the wrong way to think. Okay, that's the absolute wrong way to think. You don't have to live someone else's life. Okay, those things that you got tired of because you felt like it wasn't glamorous enough, but you really liked it. You really enjoyed doing it. You were really admired. You got a tremendous amount of admiration for doing it, but it wasn't like the reality TV show stars or some celebrity that you saw, and you got off the bandwagon just because. And one of the worst things you can do is take on someone else's life. You don't have to be a carbon copy of someone else. Imagine if Michael Jordan decided that he wanted to just be Dr. J, not be inspired by Dr. J, and figure out how can he improve on the game of basketball by being inspired and motivated by Dr. J or someone like that. But imagine if he wanted to be Dr. J verbatim, if he wanted to just be a carbon copy of Dr. J, he wouldn't have became the first one and only Michael Jordan. Okay, Michael Jackson, same thing. He was influenced by a lot of people that came before him, before his time, but instead of trying to be them exactly, he decided, no, I'm going to be the first Michael Jackson to grace the stage. I'm going to be the one and only Michael Jackson. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen worldwide, you can do the same thing. Be the first you. Become the one and only you. Bring that to the world. The world doesn't want a carbon copy of someone that they've already seen for years and years and years and years. They want whatever it is that you have to bring to the table. You have something new inside you that you need to bring to the table, that you need to bring out to the world, that you can be admired with, that can't be duplicated because there's no one like you, as I said in the other segment of this radio show. You know, you don't have to live someone else's life. Figure out what it is that you can bring to the table. Figure out what it is that you can bring to the world that you feel like the world is waiting on right now. Use that uniqueness and bring that uniqueness out to the forefront and be the first one and only you, and inspire some other people to want to be like you for a change. And stop trying to be a carbon copy of someone else. You can't duplicate anyone else, but guess what? The good news for you is you can't be duplicated either.
Hey, you can't be duplicated. And the thing about that is you have to live your own. You can't live nobody else's. You just can't do it. You know what I'm saying? You have to be yourself. You know, I remember a guy named, I don't know if you remember. You remember, I ain't gonna say his name, but we used to be, he used, you know, to be in the place where inside the market, and he was a rapper.
When you first started the business?
When I first started the business in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
And man, the guy can rap really good, man. And he was telling me, he said, man, he had a couple of offers at some record labels, you know. And he said, the guy was asking him, hey man, could you sound like Tupac? And he was like, man, no, man, I can't sound like no Tupac. I gotta sound like myself. He said, we'll sign you right now because we like you. Yeah. So he said, he told the guy, well, if you like me, you'll sign me now. You know what I'm saying? You know, but this is the thing I'm saying. You have to be yourself. No matter what nobody says, you have to understand that being yourself, knowing who you are, knowing what you're here for and your purpose, and stop living someone else's dream, and stop letting other people tell you what you need to do. That's the first thing that you have to do before you start trying to go out and, you know, when you're finding your purpose. You have to understand that you have to keep your mind locked in to what you need to be doing. When you start trying to live, you know, when people try to get you to live someone else's dream, you just tell them, hey man, look, this is me. You have to accept me as me, and I know where I'm going. I'm gonna get there. So I'm gonna actually put this here in the work to see if it's work first. So you got to see whatever you're doing work first before you do anything else. So keep living your dream, not no one else's, and keep going forward with your success, and understand that you're here for your life purpose to make someone else happy.
Yeah, I have to agree. I was just thinking, you know, my name is Arthur Jenkins. I have a father, I have a mother. I'm a product of the two. But I was just sitting there thinking about my dad, where we're alike and where we're different. My dad doesn't like to fly. Won't get on the plane to save his life. Me, I fly anywhere you want to go. But my old man is a hard worker. He's a welder. He'll do heights. He'll get up there with no harness or nothing and get up there and bolt and weld. Me, if I can't jump and touch it, it ain't meant for me to be there. That's how I think, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that to say, you know, where you come from, what you're a product of, got you here. Where you go is up to you. What you become is up to you. No matter what you feel is against you, ultimately your decisions are yours, and you're responsible for them. You're responsible for making them. You have a choice all the time. regardless of mom, dad, brother, sister, you are not. You're your own person. You're your own entity. Don't be worried about being embarrassed. Hey, man, just because you come from the hood don't mean you can't play a violin. If you want to play a violin, play a doggone violin. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to play the piano growing up and the violin. I'm like, man, I ain't playing. I told Mom, I'm not playing that. I'm sorry. But she said, I tell you what, you're not beating on no drums either, so we got to come in the middle somewhere and meet. I ended up playing the alto saxophone. Played it for a year. She was happy. I put it down. But today I wish I kept playing that instrument because I love the music that it made. But I just, you know, being young and coming through the, you know, I didn't want to do it. You know, I wanted to do this because I thought it was more socially acceptable. But had I kept playing it, man, I might be somewhere on stage blowing me a horn, making me hundreds of thousands of dollars, $1 million a year by playing that horn. And I actually liked it, but I was ashamed to admit it. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't want nobody to laugh at me for playing this thing. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like this here. We do things like that. Yeah. You know, I remember being in elementary school, I walking the little girl home one day, a couple of my buddies saw me. They come to school the next day and they were messing with me. Man, I ain't walk that girl home, man. I was going that way. Hurt her feelings. She didn't talk to me no more till we were adults. You understand what I'm saying? I thought she was cute. She was a little thin and stuff like this. Here, then we got to about 10th grade. I was like, she done blossomed. She ain't got no words for me now. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is you can't always give in to the pressure of everything else. No. You understand? Right. I'm being a little sarcastic, but you can't give in to the pressure. You have to be uniquely you and embrace it. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? If Kanye hadn't been Kanye, we wouldn't have the music he makes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If these people hadn't been who they are, if William Shakespeare was worried about this here, we wouldn't have Romeo and Juliet and things of this nature. When Eric Jerome Dick decided to write the book because he enjoyed writing. Right. You understand? When somebody decided to write a screenplay, or when Tyler Perry sit back, his very first play, he had to stop it and revamp it and do it again. You know what I'm saying? Now, people laughed at him about writing plays and stuff. Now look at it. Yeah. Hundreds of millions of dollars. People rushing to the movie theaters and to the plays when he coming to town. You have to do it. You know what makes you got to do it your way. Yeah. You know, be pleased with you. And then you'll be surprised when you are happy with yourself. You'll be surprised how many other people are happy for you and with you. Right. When you give it to them. So, you know, again, be the first you. You know, you don't have to be so-and-so, but you can be inspired by so-and-so. You can let them inspire you and help, you know, build off of something they've done, learn from them, and push it and give the world your spin on something. So, you know, don't deprive the world of you. Don't deprive the world of you, man. You know, I'm not being funny. I ain't Jesse Jackson, but you are somebody, and you are somebody special. Don't deprive everybody of you. Right. In fact, let them know, man. You know what? I'm so good. Y'all deserve to know who I am. Mm-hmm. You know, let them know. Be confident, man. Be cocky a little bit even, man. Give the world you. You know, don't deprive it. So that's just my way of thinking. That's right.
That's right. Well said. See, ladies and gentlemen worldwide that listen to us every week, you know, if you've been thinking in the manner of you can't figure out your existence and it's exhausting to you, you can't seem to get to yourself and get a moment of solitude to figure out what your real purpose here in life is, and you just want to take on someone else's life, you know, I want you to think this way, starting right now, wherever you are listening to us talk right now. This is the way I want you to think from here on out, forever and a day. Start thinking that, hey, I don't want to be the next Michael Jordan. I don't want to be the next Kanye West. I don't want to be the next Tupac Shakur or whoever that may be. But I'll tell you what, if I do want to play basketball, if I'm a kid and I want to go to the NBA one day, or if I want to go to the NFL and I want to be the next Joe Montana or something like that, I'm not going to say I want to be the next Joe Montana. I'm going to say that I want to be as influential as these guys were in the field that they were into. And I want to have an influential career as these guys once had, but be the next Joe Montana? No, I want to be the first me, like Tom Brady did. Tom Brady was influenced and motivated by Joe Montana, but he said, you know what? I'm not going to be the next Joe Montana. I'm going to be the first Tom Brady, and I hope that I can be just as influential, okay, if not more influential to everyone in football as Joe Montana was. This is the way that I want everyone to think right now. Don't say that you want to be the next Tupac Shakur. Just say, hey, I'm a rapper. I'm motivated by Tupac Shakur. I hope I can be as influential to music as Tupac Shakur was. Hopefully I have a big influence to music, meaning hopefully I can inspire just as many people, or if not as many people as he did. But to be him, a carbon copy as he was, to be a carbon copy of Michael Jordan, I don't want that kind of pressure on me. I'm going to be the first me. I'm going to be the one and only me. And I'm going to be very, very influential being me.
Hey, that's well said there, Mr. Rhymes, because that's all you can do is be you and you only. And the only thing you can do is bring out the best in you, you know. And when I say bring out the best in you, sometimes it's good to even have haters on, you know, because they bring out the best in you to make you do what you need to do and show them. So when you understand that you have to only live your purpose and your purpose only, that's when you become the real you.
That's it. Be yourself, ladies and gentlemen worldwide. Be yourself, not someone else. You have great gifts and talents that the world is waiting on. When are you going to let us all see it? You're listening to the Soul 21 Street Radio Show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. I promise.
Hello, listeners. This is Arthur Jenkins, co-host of the Soul 21 Street Radio Show. Your opinions, your comments are very important to me, so feel free to hit me up on my Facebook page, Facebook Arthur Jenkins. Thank you for your support. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you again.
Welcome back to the Soul 21 Street Radio Show. T.G. Ryans, Malik Jackson, Arthur Jenkins, discussing your life has a purpose. If you're just now tuning in worldwide, globally, overseas, wherever you may be. But you know what? Listen. I know a lot of you are saying, okay, I get it now. I understand. I got to find my purpose, or I'm already walking in my purpose, you know. But one of the problems I'm having is that it just doesn't seem to be popping off like I want it to right now. You know, my family members are starting to ask me, when are we going to hear you on the radio? When are we going to see you on TV? When are we going to see you on the big screen? You know, when are we going to see your barbershop? When are we going to see your restaurant be able to sit down? Yo, when are we going to see you in magazines? And I'll tell you what you should tell them. Don't rush my success. It'll happen whenever it's time. That's what you let them know. Don't put me on a pedestal right now. Don't put me on a pedestal right now, because you might try to knock me off that pedestal. I'm okay with being where I am right now as long as I'm progressively getting to where I need to get to. So don't rush success, ladies and gentlemen. Don't rush it. It'll happen when it's time for it to happen. Let me tell you, you people, something that a lot of you don't understand about real, true success. Your success that you've been understanding has come from a lot of the rappers in the media and what they show you on TV, like MTV Cribs and stuff like that. That's not real success. Success is when you wanted to be that school teacher. Okay, teaching school and enlightening the bright minds of the future is something that you always wanted to do. And you get to get up every morning and you get to drive to a local school and you get to teach these students. You already accumulated success. You've already achieved success. The money, the cars, the prestige, and the honor are symbols of that success that you have already achieved. That's right. I said it. I just broke the chains off a lot of people right now. The success that is real, true success is whenever you're that computer software designer and you always wanted to be a computer software designer and you graduated school and now you have a computer software designing job, you're a computer engineer and you made that happen. You're already successful before you get the first paycheck. Before you get any money from doing that, you're already successful. You've already made it. No, I'm not on CNN giving a report on the new IBM software that's coming out. No, I'm not in the great business magazine. I'm not in the Wall Street Journal yet. I'm not on Oprah Winfrey yet if I'm a singer or I'm an entertainer yet. But I'm already successful because I'm already doing what I dreamed of doing, what I wanted to do, and what most other people around the world wanted to do, but they never figured out what their purpose was to be able to do it. But I did all the groundwork. So no, I may not have all the filthy riches that you see on TV right now. I may not be driving the fancy cars and stuff right now, or I might not be living in the mansion right now, is the way that you might be thinking. But what you need to let everybody know, and what you need to even understand yourself, is that before all of those symbols, you're successful the day that you became whatever it is that you really wanted to become. Okay, if you wanted to be a constructor and you wanted to work in construction, you wanted to be an architect and you build buildings, then you're already successful before you even get your first deal done, before it's finished, before you get the money, before you get the fame, before you get the prestige. You are already successful. The money, the cars, the jewelry, women, groupies chasing behind you, whatever it may be that you're looking at, that you're calling success, is not success. You're already successful whenever you're doing whatever it is that you feel like you were put into this world to do.
Hey, Mr. Ryan, you just said a mouthful right there, bro. Don't rush success. Man, you already successful when you make up your mind what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Because that energy already captivated in your mind state and saying, hey, he say he wants to be successful. Now, the thing about it is that you have to find means and ways of bringing it out of you and whatever your venture is. But you can't rush success. Success is already there. You were born to be a success. When God created you, you was a success. You had to just find out what you wanted to do. So success is never rushed, man. It takes process. You know, if you're trying to show people what you're trying to show them and let them look at you like Mr. Ryan was saying, you know, why we ain't see you on TV, why we ain't seen you hear you on the radio, why we ain't seen your barbershop, why we ain't seen this. Well, I tell you why you ain't seen it, because you're watching the wrong thing. You're going to see something bigger when you see me. You know, so success is always never rushed. And the reason why people rush success, they trying to show other people and then they lose it when they get it. Because we all done seen most people, what I call them one day success, man. They done blew up, they big, then next week they down. You know, they lost it all. And that's just trying to show people, when you trying to show your success, it's a long process, haul. You know, you got to grind. You have to put in your work. You have to understand, you have to, you know, meet people and know people, and you got to put in your dues. So success is always followed up with work, determination, persistence, and ambition. And without that, you ain't got no success, brother.
Let's go to Arthur Jenkins on that. What do you think about that, Arthur?
Well, I mean, I can't really say it no better than what you two guys just said it, so I'll just add my little 2 cents here. Sometimes your success ain't just about you. And we've talked about this before. There's a gentleman by the name of Keenan Ivory Waynes. And this was a guy who had been around for a while, and he created this show called 11 Color back in the early 90s. I know all of us remember that. But that show, well, I wonder when he sits back sometimes, he really goes, is he really worried about all, you know, these people who supposedly are bigger names than him in entertainment? Probably not, because he made a platform for those guys and women. Jamie Foxx, who we all know. Well, guess what? He got his big break on in Living Color.
Right.
You understand? Dwayne's brothers, Dwayne's family. Now they're generations deep doing what they're doing. Jim Carrey. You know what I'm saying? And Keenan Ivory Waynes created this and brought these guys and gave Jennifer Lopez. You know what I'm saying? They got their big break. And he brought them in. He created an avenue and let them go. And when they started going, he encouraged them to go. Go. Become that. Become this right here. So you're kind of like being a proud uncle, a proud papa in the sense. Sometimes your success ain't just about you. You create sometimes a platform to springboard others also and to help them. And believe it or not, the spotlight, you know, a lot of us want the spotlight. We want all of the shine. It don't necessarily work like that all the time either. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes your success and your pride can come in helping others become what they're destined to become. You know what I'm saying? Giving them that avenue. And on a lower scale, if you're that person, man, you know, and you see people with talent, you encourage them with their talents. Say, man, you're a great artist. You know what I'm saying? Keep on, man. You know what? Do this for me, a project for me. I'll pay you $30, $40, $50 for it. Encourage that talent. You know what I'm saying? Help cultivate that talent. Say, you know what, man, you seem to be real nurturing and caring. You ever thought about becoming a nurse? You know what I'm saying? Well, you know, this is what it takes to become a nurse. Give it some thought. Encourage that. You know what I'm saying? And help people become successful and you'll feel that also. Now, as far as rushing it, your time is your time. Don't be discouraged because it not happening in 6 months or a year. If it takes 5, if it takes 7, heck, if it takes 10. But I guarantee you when it happens, after you put in that kind of work, you'll appreciate it just that much more. And you'll work just that much harder to make sure that it goes nowhere after you work that hard to achieve it.
That's well said, Arthur Jenkins, because, you know, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand that you can have money and still not be successful. There are a lot of people with money that have no success at all. Okay, this is why you have so many NBA wives and NFL wives and all them that have these athlete husbands that have millions of dollars. That's why they have to go out and start a foundation or do something. They got to get out of the house and they got to go start a foundation. They got to go do something. They got to do, because to just sit there and look at money, stare at money, spend money, buy everything, it gets to the point to where you have everything. There's nothing else to buy. You know, you have plenty of money, you know, all this and that. But you start understanding that as the clock ticks and you start getting older, yes, you have a lot of money, but what have I done? What have I offered to the world? What have I brought to the world? What kind of legacy have I left? And that's why a lot of these people go out and they go start foundations. They go start organizations. They teach some kids. They do something, yes, with millions of dollars in the bank, not having to work, not having to do anything, because just to sit around and wallow in symbols of someone else's success is not going to get you to the promised land. This is why they do that. I won't forget on the TV show, The Jeffersons, you know, Weezy Jefferson. Those of you that are listening right now, of course, you know about this show right now. If you don't, I don't know why, but everybody should know that George Jefferson, he was a very successful businessman, had numerous amounts of cleaners, was a millionaire on this show from rags to riches. And his wife, Louise Jefferson, had to go and start some kind of organization. No, what it was she ended up working at a center. There was a center, a local center, and she started doing volunteer work. Now, this is a fictitious character, but this is a good example to use because this is something that a lot of people in life are doing right now. She had to sooner or later get up, leave the penthouse apartment, you know, and she had to go downstairs and she had to go to the center and help kids. She had to go to the center and help older people and do things like this because she had to have some purpose in life. Some people might have said, well, hey, if this is a real life situation, why are you going down there? Why are you doing this? Why are you dealing with people? All you have to do is go and spend money or find something to buy, because that's not good enough. You can be unsuccessful, very unsuccessful, with millions and possibly billions of dollars in the bank. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to close out this segment of the show, I want you to know right now that you don't have to rush your success in life. You know, just take your time, make the proper steps and proper moves, because whether you have money or not, you're already successful when you're doing whatever it is that you felt like you had a calling for in this world during your lifetime before you leave this world. Money or no money, you are already successful. You're listening to the Soul 21 Street Radio Show. We'll be right back. Well, now we're gonna I'm gonna start with you, Malik Jackson. What are your final thoughts for tonight?
Man, this been real live segment, man. Really a great segment. You know, the purpose, you know, your life has a purpose. And I want to just say that everybody from around the world, you have a purpose, a life purpose. Find it, utilize it, you know, grab it, shine with it, and understand it all comes from powerful thoughts. Keep your thoughts powerful, keep that vision, keep your goals, and understand that you become and always unstoppable.
Arthur Jenkins, your final thoughts for this show?
I would just say this: your purpose plus your work ethic equals your success.
My final thought for tonight is figure out your purpose and remember that you don't just have a life of existence, you have a life with a meaningful purpose. Figure out what it is today, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. We're going to wrap up this show right now. I hate to end it. It's been really great. You know, before we go, I want to give a shout out to Rice University, Prairie View University, and Texas Southern University, Houston, Texas, representing. Go there, get your education. You're going to walk out of there with plenty of knowledge to fulfill your purpose. T.G. Ryans, that's me, Malik Jackson, and Arthur Jenkins, wrapping up another show. Tune in again next week on the Soul 21 Street Radio Show for another great topic. We are out of here, signing off.